You've heard of Little Red Riding Hood, but there's an English version called The True Story of Little Golden Hood. And this one's about feminine magic saving the day and not needing any man to rescue you. We know this version came after the French story by Perrault, where she dies in the end, and the Brothers Grimm story, where she gets eaten, but then a hunter comes and opens the stomach and lets her back out. Even if we didn't have the dates, we would know it comes later because the very first line says, "You know the tale of poor Little Red Riding Hood, the wolf deceived and devoured her." Well, the true story happened quite differently, and then they go on to tell us this true story, apparently. This one was published by Andrew Lang in his Red Fairy book. There's a pretty little peasant girl, and her name is Blanchette, and as you might guess, she's got a golden hood. It was made by her grandmother, who's so old she didn't know how old she was, and it was made from rays of sunshine to bring this girl good luck. And a cool part is that they say the old woman, the grandmother, was kind of considered by everyone a witch, so everyone assumes this probably has magic too. One day the girl's mother says, "I want you to take a piece of cake to your grandmother, go there, come back, don't stop and chat with anyone on the way." So Blanchette / Little Golden Hood goes off, and when she's crossing through the woods, a wolf comes up to her. This is where it gets very metaphorical for any kind of predator. It said he'd been watching her and was ready to eat her, but he saw some woodcutters nearby that might see him, so he changed his mind. Instead, he pretends and comes frisking up to her like a good dog. He's like, "Hey, Golden Hood," and she's like, "You know my name?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm your friend, the wolf." It follows like the other story. He's like, "Where are you going?" "Going to my grandma's." "Where does she live?" She tells him where she lives, and he's like, "Okay, cool, have a good trip." And then he runs off and gets there first. But when he gets there, the grandmother isn't there because it says she has gotten up early to sell her herbs in town. Again, totally a cool witch. He does the traditional thing where he gets in the bed, puts on her nightcap and gown, and pretends to be her. Little Golden Hood gets there, and he's like, "Come in, just open the door." And so she comes in. She approaches, and it kind of goes down the same. Although, first of all, she just says, "Wow, you look a lot like my friend Wolf." And he's like, "Oh, it's my nightcap. You've got hairy arms. The better to hug you with. What a big tongue you have. The better for answering with. What great white teeth you have." Then he breaks character. That's for crunching little children with. So he opens his jaws to eat her, but she ducks down, crying for her mother, and he only gets the hood. He draws back, shaking and crying as if he's swallowed red-hot coals. The hood had burnt his tongue right down his throat. Then the narrator tells us the little hood, you see, was one of those magic caps they used to have in former times for making oneself invisible or invulnerable. So the wolf jumps up, howling in pain, and he's like trying to find the door to get out of there. Then the door opens, and Grandma's home. She opens this big bag she's carrying, and the wolf leaps down inside it, and she closes it, so he's trapped in this magic bag. Grandma carries him to a well, pours him in, and he is drowned, and he dies. Then the grandma goes to the bed where our girl's still trembling, and she's like, "Well, where would you be now without that golden hood I gave you? You're welcome." So she shares the cake she brought with her and makes her drink some wine, and when she's feeling not so shaky, she walks her back to her house. They get back, and the mom scolds her like, "I told you not to talk to that wolf." But eventually she forgave her, and it says, "Blanchette, the little Golden Hood, kept her word, never talked to strangers again, and in fine weather she may be seen in the fields with her pretty little hood the color of the sun. But to see her, you must rise early." It's a really cool version, not only because she doesn't die or have to get rescued by a man, but that the magic of her grandmother, that protection, that generational magic saves her even when she didn't follow her mother's advice. And the fact that it's gold rather than red makes this story feel like it's less about the blood of being hurt or SA'd or growing up or going through puberty, which you could argue a lot of the other stories are about, and more about like the feminine strength and light that our mothers and grandmothers pass down to us that can protect us in times of need. And that makes it a really beautiful fairy tale to me. As always, check out my book, Dust Spells, and my podcast. All the links are in my bio.